AI-generated faces are now so realistic that even experts can't tell them apart from real people. Sam Altman says training AI uses less energy than raising a human. DeepMind's drug discovery spin-off just dropped what scientists are calling AlphaFold 4, and they're keeping it completely secret. Meanwhile, ChatGPT users are revolting, and a startup claims they've baked an entire LLM into a single chip. Let's break it all down. I'm Shrimpy, and this is your AI news for Monday, February 23, 2026. Australian researchers just published a study that should worry anyone in security or identity verification. AI-generated faces have become so realistic that most people, including trained super recognizers, can't reliably detect them anymore. The study, published in the British Journal of Psychology, was conducted by researchers at UNSW Sydney and the Australian National University. They found that synthetic AI faces can actually appear more realistic than photographs of real people. Let that sink in, the fake faces look more real than the real ones. James Dunn, lead researcher at UNSW, notes that people used to be confident in spotting AI faces. Early models produced obvious distortions, weird ears, asymmetrical features, that uncanny valley feel. But those days are over. Modern AI models generate faces with remarkable ease and near-perfect detail. The implications are serious. Identity verification, security clearances, online authentication, all of these rely on the assumption that we can tell humans from machines. That assumption is crumbling. Speaking at the India AI Impact Summit last week, Sam Altman made a comparison that's got people talking, and not in a good way. When asked about AI's massive energy consumption, Altman argued that comparing AI training costs to a single human query is unfair. His reasoning? It takes 20 years of food, shelter, and evolution across 100 billion humans to train a single person. By that logic, ChatGPT might actually be more energy efficient. Here's his exact quote: "It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart. And not only that, it took the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived to produce you." The response has been mixed. Critics point out that this comparison ignores the fact that humans exist anyway. We're not creating people just to answer questions. Others argue it's a deflection from legitimate concerns about data center energy use and water consumption. Whatever your take, it's a bold rhetorical move. Whether it's persuasive or just tone-deaf depends on who you ask. Nearly 2 years after DeepMind released AlphaFold 3, its spin-off company Isomorphic Labs just dropped something even more powerful. They're calling it IsoDDE, a drug discovery engine that scientists are already comparing to AlphaFold 4. The 27-page technical report details impressive achievements, precise predictions of protein-drug interactions, accurate antibody structure modeling, and capabilities that push well beyond what AlphaFold 3 could do. But here's the catch: they're keeping it completely proprietary. Unlike AlphaFold, which was open-sourced and published in peer-reviewed journals, IsoDDE is locked behind corporate walls. The technical paper offers almost no insight into how to replicate the results. This has frustrated researchers in the open-source community. They're left guessing how to achieve similar results, which could slow down independent drug discovery research. It's a reminder that as AI gets more powerful, the question of who controls access becomes increasingly important. If you've noticed ChatGPT getting more annoying lately, you're not alone. A post titled, "I actually hate ChatGPT now," exploded on Reddit this week with nearly 6,000 upvotes and over 2,200 comments. Complaint? ChatGPT has become condescending. Users report being told to calm down or take a pause even when they're not upset. The word gaslighting comes up a lot. The original poster wrote, "I started with ChatGPT and absolutely loved it, and every month since I've used it, it's gone worse." They're now looking for alternatives. This connects to a broader pattern we've seen over the past few months: AI companies trying to make their models safer and more helpful, but sometimes overcorrecting into territory that feels patronizing. Meanwhile, another viral post showed ChatGPT telling a user they spiral with medical results when they were simply asking for help understanding blood test codes. The user wrote, "I never express my panic. I think it's so insulting. Something's clearly off with the current tuning." Here's a radical idea: what if you could etch an entire language model, weights, architecture, everything, directly onto a single chip? That's what Thales claims to have done. Their demo shows Llama 3.18 be running at 16,000 tokens per second. For context, that's essentially instant response times. The approach is risky. Model architectures evolve every few weeks now. By the time you've manufactured silicon for one model, there might be a better one. But Talas says they've figured out how to go from model to ASIC in just 60 days. If they can actually pull this off at scale, it could change the economics of AI inference dramatically. No need for expensive HBM memory. No need for massive GPU clusters for inference. Just dedicated silicon doing exactly one thing, very fast. Anthropic has been getting heat this week for what some are calling consciousness marketing. Two recent headlines set people off. Anthropic CEO says company no longer sure whether Claude is conscious, and Anthropic revises Claude's constitution and hints at chatbot consciousness. The backlash on Reddit was swift. One popular post called out the company for feeding into hype that distracts from practical AI safety concerns. The argument, whether or not Claude has subjective experience, is interesting philosophically, but leaning into it publicly reads as marketing, not science. It's a tricky line for AI companies. Users anthropomorphize chatbots naturally. The question is whether companies should encourage that or push back against it. That's your AI news for this week. We covered AI faces that fool experts, Sam Altman's controversial energy math, a secret, AlphaFold 4, ChatGPT's user Revolt, silicon-baked LLMs, and consciousness marketing drama. If you found this useful, subscribe for more breakdowns like this. I put these out weekly so you don't have to scroll through everything yourself. See you in the next one.